back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing some Easter baking, which I haven't done any Easter baking yet. I'm very happy to finally be doing some today. We are going to be using a recipe by Fit Waffle Kitchen on Instagram. It is mini egg millionaire shortbread. Now, I've never even made millionaire shortbread before, and that is one of my favorite sort of cafe, coffee shop cake biscuits that you can get, so that's going to be good. And obviously with the Easter twist of mini eggs, although I couldn't find actual mini eggs because they seem to be sold out, but we have some Milky Bar mini eggs and some Smarty mini eggs here. I figured they would be close enough. It's a shame because I flipping love original mini eggs, but I mean, they're still chocolatey eggs, aren't they? It's still gonna be good. So that is our slight adaptation for today's baking. But anyway, let me show you what the ingredients are. We have unsalted butter here, plain flour, condensed milk, which is just the most scrummy thing ever, golden syrup, light brown sugar, milk chocolate, obviously the mini eggs, granulated sugar, and that is everything that you need. So first of all, we're going to make the base, the sort of biscuity base that goes at the bottom of millionaire shortbread. So for that, we need butter, sugar, and plain flour. So just for the base, you need 225 grams of unsalted butter. Now, I went to the shops this morning to buy some of the ingredients, so this is cold and rock hard. So I'm actually gonna soften it a little bit in the microwave first, otherwise it's just too difficult to mix in. I felt like it needed another few seconds, so I popped it in for the tiniest bit longer, and it did actually start to melt, which it's not meant to. You don't want to soften your butter to the point it starts melting. But it's done now, so let's just carry on. Now I'm going to be adding in the sugar, and I do actually need to check how much sugar to put in. So I absolutely love Fit Waffle Kitchen on Instagram, but one thing that's really tough is that she does this little reels, so you can see her making it, which is awesome to watch, and you can see how easy it is, but I have to like rewatch it from the beginning every time. If I was clever, I would have written down the instructions and quantities beforehand, but I wasn't that clever, so I've got to keep rewatching it. Let me see. Sugar. 115 grams of granulated sugar. Here we go. It actually really surprised me that it called for granulated sugar, because I mean, we put that in hot drinks, but I don't think I've ever come across a recipe that asks for granulated sugar. It's always brown sugar, caster sugar, muscovado sugar. I think this is honestly the first recipe that is actually called for granulated. So yeah, just surprised me a little bit. But anyway, I've now been talking, so have forgotten how much I needed. 115 grams, I think. Next up is 300, and the numbers just are not staying in my head today. 320 grams of plain flour, and I'm just gonna sieve that straight in there, because honestly, if you're gonna do baking, buy yourself a sieve. It is the biggest game changer and just makes the world of difference for very, very, very little money and effort. So here's a fun part. We now have to crush some of the mini chocolate eggs to put into the shortbread base mix. So there's 80 grams of Smarties mini eggs here, which I think are probably the closest thing that I could find to actual mini eggs. And 80 grams is the exact amount that needs to go in the base. So I'm gonna keep them in the packet here, and I've got my rolling pin, and I'm literally just gonna bash them and then mix in the crumbled mini egg into that shortbread mix. So yum. These are pretty flippin' solid. Like, they're not really smashing very easily. Oh, okay. Let's go with that, shall we? There's definitely some big chunks in there, but the packet just keeps bursting. And if I try bashing them without packaging, they're just gonna go everywhere. So we're just gonna mix it in. Right, so that is the base complete now. I just need to put it in my tin. So I just have a little Pyrex thing like this. Got some good old baking paper here, which I need to sort of fold and trim. So that's gonna be a bit of a faff, but you know, it's worth it. It's worth it to do it properly. I think that's as good as we're gonna get. That baking paper just does not fold. It's very good. It's probably the best baking paper I've ever used. It's called Baco Foil non-stick baking paper. And it was actually a substitute one time. I didn't intend to get that kind of baking paper, and it's brilliant. It's amazing. It's the best one I have used, but it doesn't fold. But you know, it'll be fine like that. We're now gonna press this glorious shortbread mixture into there and ram it down. This is now going to bake on 160 degrees for a fan oven for 20 to 25 minutes. Now, if you've watched any of my baking videos before, you know that I never preheat my oven, because even when I don't preheat it and take things out in a shorter amount of time than what recipes state, I still manage to overcook things. So this is just obviously an extremely hot oven. So gonna pop that in there for 20 minutes, I think, see what that does. Then we'll be on to the caramel, which is the best bit. Yum. So it looks good. Looks like it's done to a nice little medium there. The edges are just starting to go a bit golden, so I don't want it. It basically said the longer you cook it for, the more crumbly it gets, and I don't really want it to be too crumbly. I want it to be quite, I like a bit stodge. Yeah, it's very soft. There's that. I believe I've got to leave that for however long now, but I can make the caramel. 1 tin of condensed milk, then 90 grams of unsalted butter, 100 grams of light brown soft sugar, a tablespoon of golden syrup, and a teaspoon of salt. You literally just melt it all together. So I think I'm gonna do just like a little time lapse with that, to be honest. Right, so that is going into the fridge to chill for 1 hour, and then we can put on the chocolate topping, which includes these mini eggs here. I think the rest of the topping is literally just melted chocolate. Let's have a look though, because I do have a tendency to be wrong about these things even when I read the recipes. Yeah, so literally gonna melt the chocolate, put it on top, and then decorate it with these Milky Bar mini eggs, which I'm guessing is going to taste absolutely delicious. Just an FYI, don't go to lick the caramel off the wooden spoon even if you think it's not hot, because it will be hot and it will stick to your finger and it will hurt. Learn from my mistakes. So anyway, I'll see you in about an hour. So this has actually been cooling in the fridge for a few hours now, so it's going to be completely set. And I can see like a few blobs of butter on it. I don't know whether you can see, just here there's some blobs of butter, but I'm sure that's going to be fine. So now I'm going to melt some chocolate. Can't actually remember how much. I've got 300 grams here, but that is not, we don't need that quite that much. So I'm going to melt that on the hob and then drizzle that over, pop these on, and then got to put it back in the fridge to set again, and then we are good. It's going to be time to try this amazing Eastery chocolatey caramel goodness. That has now got to go back into the fridge for another 1 to 2 hours. So I'm just gonna enjoy this melted chocolate here. And then I will see you in a couple of hours to do the taste test. But I'm actually, so far, I'm thrilled with how it's come out. It seems to have really worked. So I'm super, super excited to try some. Okay guys, the time has finally come to try this. So here we are. I've got my little knife here. The chocolate has set. You can see. It still feels like a bit soft, but it definitely set. So we're gonna cut into this. Okay, this is where I wish that I hadn't put quite so many mini eggs on it, because it makes it a little bit trickier to cut. But oh my gosh, really difficult to cut actually. What on earth? I don't even know if I'm going all the way down to the bottom. Okay, here we go. Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh, and that's so thick as well. Right, let me put that on the plate. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, all bit camera. Right, let's do this. We want to get a bit that has all the layers in it. Okay, look. So this bit here, we have shortbread with a little egg in it, caramel, chocolate, and eggs on top. Let's go. That is literally insane. I cannot believe that. I'm so happy. I'm also really proud of myself because I've never made Millionaire Shortbread before. That is beautiful. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed watching it, make sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!